Hi there, I'm Scott Marcano, aka Diablo. I just want to talk to you briefly about why I want you to donate to my new graphic novel project. Now, if you're not familiar with my work and my company, I've published several graphic novels: Hum, Nancy Nannis and the Black Widows, The Unwanted, all of which have been very popular and very critically acclaimed. Well, my new book is called Rio Sangre. Let me give you a quick pitch about what it's about. Rio Sangre takes place in the Old West. It's kind of like a classic story along the lines of the Magnificent Seven. What happens is there's a small pueblo with impoverished farmers. Well, they're about to harvest their crops when a bandit army shows up, and the bandits are going to take all their food and leave them to starve to death. Well, all the farmers in this small town band together. They take up a little collection. They realize they have almost no money, but they want to hire a gunfighter to protect their town from these bandits. Well, they go to the nearest big town and they try every gunfighter they can, but no one will help them. They finally find one person who will help them. But it's not what they expect. It's a vampire. The vampire's name is Priest, and he doesn't want to be a vampire, but because he was a former priest, he can't kill himself, so he's stuck in this immortal existence he hates. Well, they make a deal with Priest that he comes to protect their town in exchange for a nightly exchange of blood. Well, Priest takes the deal because he's originally from Rio Sangre and he wants to protect his hometown. And he recruits 5 other vampires to help him. Well, it's a great story. It's about people who are human, who have lost their humanity, and try to gain it again. It's a story of redemption. It's a story of learning to trust. The villagers have to trust the vampires and vice versa. It's really one of my favorite stories ever in a long time, and I'd really like you to support it. Another reason why I think you should support this, and this is really one of the most important reasons why I think this makes this graphic novel and this donation different, is I go to schools. And one of the main reasons I go to schools and push my graphic novels is because I used to be a teacher before I started doing graphic novels. And I became acutely aware when I would work with kids of how much they didn't want to read. And that's one of the reasons I got into the graphic novel business. One thing I never had trouble getting kids to read, that was a comic book. You get a kid a comic book, he will start to read it in a way he would never sit down and read The Catcher in the Rye, never read Little Women. But you give him a graphic novel, some vampires, some monsters in it, bam, he'll read that thing cover to cover. In order to get kids to read, you have to make reading fun. You have to make it a habit that they want to get into. And that's where my graphic novels and my presentation comes in. I go to schools all year long pitching my graphic novels to kids. And I've had tremendous success at it. I've had sales at schools that go on where I've sold $1,000 worth of books. Every kid in the school will have bought a book and will read it. And then when I come back next year, they'll want my next book. That's what I'm really about. In addition to just doing cool stories, I like to get kids engaged in reading. It's so important to get them involved in it at an early age. And for reading to become something fun that they look forward to, that's a habit in their lives. That's what my books are designed to do. The subject matter, what they're about, the characters, the way they're written, they're all written with the idea that this is something young people will get into and enjoy. But, the great thing about my books is you don't have to be a kid to enjoy them. Most of my customers aren't just kids, they're adults. If you like horror science fiction, you're going to be a fan of my books. And I think Rio Sangre is exactly the kind of story that if you're into horror, you will love. That's my pitch. And I think a lot of people talk about, oh, hey, my graphic novel is going to change the world. Oh, my film, it's about this. I don't just talk the talk or hope, hey, my theme is going to get out there. I walk the walk. I actually go to these schools all year long and talk to kids and really push my books. I'm a person who's actively involved in getting kids to read books and to make a difference. So your money's not going to some abstract, hey, this is my thing I want to talk about. It's actually going to something practical that is going to help kids, that is going to change the world. And also it's going to create a great book that you may want to read yourself. We have great giveaways for any donation, part of which is a book or 2 books or a shirt or a sticker or anything we do at Diablo Productions. So your money's well spent, trust me. Anyhow, thank you for hearing me out. I'd love to get a donation from you. If not, I understand. I'll never forgive you, but I do understand. I'm just kidding. Do whatever you like, but please, if you can make a donation, we'd really appreciate it. Rio Sangre is a great book, and that's all I have to say. Thank you for your time.